Hey everyone, it's Frank, and today we're going through some crucial questions for the New York CDL test. These cover the essential knowledge you'll need to operate a commercial motor vehicle safely and legally in New York State. Let's dive right in. What is the primary reason for performing a pre-trip inspection before operating a CMV? To ensure the vehicle is safe to operate and to find defects that could cause a crash or breakdown. A thorough inspection is your first line of defense against on-road issues. All right, what's next? What is the legal blood alcohol content BA limit for a CDL holder operating a commercial motor vehicle CMV in New York? 0.4% or greater. This zero tolerance threshold is significantly lower than for regular drivers due to the increased responsibility. Moving on. Which of these factors has the greatest effect on stopping distance for a CMV? Driver reaction time, brake lag distance, and effective braking distance. All three combine to determine the total stopping distance. So what's next? What is the minimum tread depth for steering axle tires on a CMV? 432-inch. Adequate tread on steering tires is crucial for control and safety. Next on our list, what does it mean if your vehicle's low air pressure warning light and buzzer activate? The air pressure in your tanks has fallen below 60 psi or half the cutout pressure. This is a critical warning indicating you're losing air pressure and should stop safely. Okay, what's after this? What is the main purpose of an anti-lock braking system, ABS, on a commercial vehicle? To help you maintain steering control during hard braking by preventing wheel lockup. ABS allows you to steer around obstacles even during emergency braking. Let's move on. What items are legally required to be carried in a commercial vehicle during operation for safety? 3 reflective warning triangles, a spare fuse, if not circuit breakers, and a properly charged fire extinguisher. These items are essential for roadside emergencies. What about this next one? How far ahead should a commercial driver typically look down the road to anticipate potential hazards? 12 to 15 seconds. This allows enough time to identify hazards and react safely. On to the next question. What is the most important reason for wearing a seatbelt in a CMV? To significantly reduce the risk of serious injury or death in a crash. Seatbelts are your most vital safety device in any vehicle. Moving forward. What is hydroplaning and what is the best way to handle it? When your tires lose contact with a wet road surface, ease off the accelerator, push in the clutch, and steer straight. Avoid sudden braking or steering inputs to regain traction. Let's consider the next one. What is the purpose of slack adjusters in an air brake system? To adjust the distance, the brake shoes move to compensate for lining wear. They keep your brakes properly adjusted as the linings wear down. And the next point, what is the proper response if you're being tailgated by another vehicle? Increase your following distance to provide more space for both vehicles. This creates a buffer so you don't have to brake suddenly. What's next? What is the maximum acceptable amount of play, free play, in the steering wheel of a large commercial vehicle? More than 10 degrees, or about 2 inches on a 20-inch wheel. Excessive play indicates a mechanical issue that must be addressed. Moving on to this. Why is proper weight distribution important when loading cargo in a CMV? To prevent vehicle instability, overloading axles, and ensure safe handling. Uneven loads can make a vehicle dangerous to drive. All right, let's see. What does it mean if your vehicle experiences brake fade? The brakes lose effectiveness due to excessive heat buildup from overuse. This reduces your stopping power and can be very dangerous, especially on downgrades. What's after this? When coupling a combination vehicle, what is the first test you should perform after connecting the tractor to the trailer? Pull gently forward against the trailer's set brakes to test the coupling. This tug test confirms the fifth wheel is securely locked. Next question. What is the crack the whip effect in combination vehicles? The rear trailer swinging out sharply during a quick turn or lane change due to inertia. This can cause the trailer to overturn. Let's get to this one. What is the best way to control your speed on a long, steep downgrade with a heavy load? Select a low gear before starting down the grade and use engine braking, supplementing with light, short brake applications. This saves your service brakes from overheating. Okay, what's next? What is the common term for a tractor driven without a trailer attached, and why is it more difficult to stop smoothly? Bobtail? It has less weight over the drive wheels, reducing traction for braking. The lack of weight can cause the drive wheels to lock up easily. Moving on. What is the function of the air compressor governor in an air brake system? It controls when the air compressor starts and stops pumping air into the storage tanks. This maintains the optimal air pressure range. So what's next? How does the stopping distance of an empty combination vehicle compare to a loaded one? An empty combination vehicle generally takes longer to stop because it has less weight over the drive axles for traction. Less traction means it takes more distance to stop. Next on our list, what is the purpose of glad hands on combination vehicles? They are coupling devices used to connect the air lines between the tractor and the trailer. These allow air to flow to the trailer's brake system. Okay, what's after this? What is the primary purpose of baffles inside a tank vehicle to control liquid surge sloshing within the tank? Baffles improve vehicle stability by reducing liquid movement. Let's move on. What is off-tracking and how does it relate to combination vehicles? The tendency of the rear wheels of a trailer to follow a different, shorter path than the front wheels of the tractor, especially in turns. You must account for this when making turns to avoid hitting curbs or other obstacles. What about this next one? What action should you take if your tires begin to lose traction on a slippery road? Ease off the accelerator, push in the clutch, and hold the steering wheel firmly, steering straight ahead. Gentle inputs help regain control. On to the next question. On to the next question. What is the minimum length of time you must hold a New York Commercial Learner's Permit, CLP, before you can take the CDL skills test? 14 days. New York requires this minimum holding period for your CLP. Moving forward, what does a dual air brake system imply about your vehicle's brakes? The vehicle has two separate air brake systems, usually one for the front and one for the rear axles. This provides a backup if one system fails. Let's consider the next one. How do you check for proper slack adjuster adjustment during a pre-trip inspection? By manually pulling on the slack adjusters. If they move more than 1 inch, they need adjustment. Proper adjustment is crucial for effective braking. And the next point, what is the best method for backing a commercial vehicle with a trailer? Back slowly, use your mirrors frequently, and make small, precise steering corrections. Slow and steady wins the race when backing. What's next? What is the main danger of using the trailer hand valve, trolley valve for routine braking while driving? It can cause the trailer wheels to lock up and skid, especially on slippery surfaces. The hand valve is for testing, not routine braking. Moving on to this. When driving in very hot weather, what specific tire issue should you be vigilant for? Increased tire pressure, which could lead to blowouts. Heat causes air to expand, raising tire pressure. All right, let's see. How do you test the low air pressure warning signal in your vehicle's air brake system? With the engine off, turn the electrical power on and pump the brake pedal until the warning light and buzzer activate. This ensures the warning system is functioning. What's after this? What is the most important thing to remember about total stopping distance for CMVs compared to passenger cars? Total stopping distance for a CMV is much greater, often double, than for a passenger car. Always allow significantly more space to stop. Next question. What is the purpose of an alcohol evaporator in an air brake system, if equipped? To introduce alcohol into the air lines to help prevent ice from forming in cold weather. This helps prevent freezing and ensures brake function in winter. Let's get to this one. What is the danger of coupling a tractor to a trailer on uneven or unlevel ground? It can create stress on the kingpin and fifth wheel, making coupling difficult and potentially unsafe. Always try to couple on level ground. Okay, what's next? Why is it important for a commercial driver to check their mirrors frequently while driving? To constantly monitor traffic around the vehicle, check blind spots, and be aware of potential hazards. Situational awareness is critical for CMV drivers. Moving on. If the air compressor governor cuts out, stops pumping air, what does this indicate about the air tanks? The air tanks have reached their maximum operating pressure, cutout pressure, typically 120 to 140 psi. This means the system is functioning correctly to maintain pressure. So, what's next? What is the critical step you must take after connecting the airlines and electrical cable when coupling a combination vehicle, but before raising the landing gear? Make sure the airlines are properly charged and test the trailer brakes. Confirming air supply and brake function is vital before moving. Next on our list, what is the purpose of engine braking or retarders in a CMV? To help slow the vehicle and reduce the need for constant use of the service brakes, especially on downgrades. These systems save your service brakes from overheating. Okay, what's after this? What is the critical rule for preventing a combination vehicle from rolling away when parked uncoupled? Always chock the wheels if the trailer is not equipped with spring brakes or if the trailer is loaded. Chocks provide security against movement. Let's move on. When are you required to complete entry-level driver training, ELDT, for a CDL in New York? If you are a new CDL applicant, or if you are upgrading your CDL, or if you are adding a hazmat, passenger, or school bus endorsement for the first time. ELDT is a federal mandate for new CDL training. What about this next one? What is the main cause of air brake lag? The time it takes for air to flow through the lines from the brake pedal to the brake chambers and for the brakes to engage. This delay means your brakes aren't instantaneous. On to the next question. What should you check on the kingpin and fifth wheel during a coupling inspection? Ensure the kingpin is not bent or cracked and the fifth wheel jaws are securely locked around it. A secure and undamaged coupling is non-negotiable. Moving forward, what is the maximum acceptable air leakage rate for a combination vehicle with engine off, brakes off after initial air loss? Less than 3 psi in 1 minute. Higher leakage rates indicate a problem that needs repair. Let's consider the next one. What is the critical action to take if your vehicle's brakes completely fail while driving? Downshift to a lower gear, apply the parking brake slowly and cautiously, and look for an escape ramp or safe stopping area. This emergency procedure is crucial for safety. And the next point, what is the purpose of the safety latch for the fifth wheel locking lever? To prevent the locking lever from accidentally opening, ensuring the kingpin remains secured. It's a critical backup for coupling integrity. What's next? What is the general rule for determining a safe speed on a curve with a combination vehicle? Slow down to a safe speed before entering the curve and then accelerate gently through it. Braking in a curve can lead to instability. Moving on to this. What is the primary function of the spring brakes, parking/emergency brakes? They engage automatically if the air pressure in the brake system drops too low, providing an emergency braking function, and also serve as the parking brake. Spring brakes are a vital safety feature. All right, let's see. What should you check regarding the electrical connection between the tractor and trailer during a pre-trip inspection? Ensure it is securely mounted, not damaged, and free of exposed or frayed wires. A good electrical connection ensures lights and other systems work. What's after this? What should you do if your engine coolant temperature light comes on or the gauge indicates overheating? Pull over safely and immediately, turn off the engine, and allow it to cool before checking coolant levels. Ignoring overheating can cause severe engine damage. Next question. When driving in strong winds, why are combination vehicles, especially those with light loads, particularly vulnerable? They can be pushed sideways or even overturned by strong gusts of wind. Their large side surface area acts like a sail. Let's get to this one. What does it mean if the cut-in pressure for your air compressor governor is too low? The compressor will start too early, potentially overworking the system and not maintaining sufficient pressure. This indicates a malfunction in the governor. Okay, what's next? When uncoupling a trailer, after lowering the landing gear firmly onto the ground and ensuring the weight is off the fifth wheel, what is your next step? Disconnect the airlines and electrical cable. This prepares the trailer for full separation. Moving on. What is the key to preventing a jackknife during braking in a tractor trailer? Avoiding locking the drive wheels of the tractor while braking. If the drive wheels lock, the tractor can pivot, causing a jackknife. And that wraps up our study session for the New York CDL test. Knowing this information thoroughly is crucial for passing your exam and becoming a safe, compliant commercial driver in New York.